So how do you get 50% more conversions using CTAs in webinars? Well, that's the topic for today, and we'll actually go straight into it. This is from a webinar I held on this specific topic, and these are the 4 things that you will bring with you from today's short video. So you'll have 3 strategies on conversion. We'll also discuss the 5 most effective call to actions in webinars, and also how you can craft a converting CTA, and how to work with these CTAs in different platforms, whether you're in a meeting software or in a dedicated webinar platform. So let's jump into it. Who am I first? Well, I'm Jonathan. I'm co-founder of Univid, which is a webinar platform to create engaging webinars in less than 60 seconds, where we've focused a lot on conversion. Let's start out by defining what is a conversion. Well, a conversion is a next step towards a predefined goal. This could be a book demo in your calendar or a deal that you close, or it could be a sign up to your newsletter or next webinar. So let's define what a CTA is. A call to action, or a CTA, is a marketing term that describes a prompt to do something. And a CTA enables you in a webinar to drive conversions from your webinar, meaning set next steps that your attendees will take. And this is often in terms of a button that the attendees can simply press and jump to a URL of your choice. Typically a meeting link or a landing page that you have designed specifically for this case. And oftentimes you have tracking on this link as well, so you can know who takes this next step and so on. But it could also be a simple link that you drop in a chat, a bit simpler version. A few examples could be that book a meeting, learn more about us, see all of our tips, or download an ebook. How are CTAs then used in webinars? Well, here is an example of the Univid platform where you have a call to action button down in the left corner. So you can activate this or activate multiple ones throughout the webinar, and it will be in terms of a button that the attendees can click. But a few strategies on actually making people convert using these CTA buttons then. First one is the big reveal. This means that you wait the entire webinar and build up value for the attendees to take this next step and activate this button at the very end and drive all the traffic to this conversion step then. And the big reveal is great for having an exclusive offer or a time limited deal that you want to give all of your attendees, and it also gives you kind of the benefit of having all the attendees focus throughout the entire webinar and then being able to direct them to a specific place and not being worried about that they will jump and lose focus throughout your webinar, which could be a problem with other strategies. You can also work with multiple targeted CTAs. This could be effective if you have multiple conversions that you want to drive from your webinar. This could enable your attendees to actually take relevant steps when you talk about a specific topic for a while and take that next step. And then you talk about a different topic and then take that conversion. So you can actually leverage one webinar and get multiple conversions out of it from each attendee. And then the static CTA is the third strategy we see. And it's a very simple one where you just have one CTA active, and it's active throughout the entire webinar, and it's just there. This gives the convenience of having attendees that maybe want to jump out a bit early or just jump in straight before the webinar even. They can explore this call to action before or whenever they want to, so a bit more on-demand style. And you don't have to build up for a perfect moment where you maybe lose some people. So this could be very effective as well. But with the kind of drawback that it might draw some other focus on this call to action too early on, and you'll lose some attendees. But it's not just about having the right strategy on when to launch the call to actions, but also what you actually put in these call to action buttons or call to action texts. We see that we have 5 different categories of call to actions that will convert, but we'll also jump into how you create these from the ground up. But we'll go through some examples on each of these 5 categories so you can really get a feel for how you can use them in your business. The first one is the soft learn more. This is a good one for awareness webinars where you maybe don't want to push a super salesy call to action like book a 15-minute demo in our calendar. You could have a more soft one like learn more about us, follow our updates on LinkedIn, subscribe to our newsletter about sales, or something like that. So this is a very soft one, but also can be very effective for awareness or top of the funnel type of webinars. Then you have the resource download type of call to action. This is great when you have material that you want the attendees to download and take part of. It could be a free ebook that you want them to download. It could be them get access to the slides afterwards, or download an exclusive PDF summary of the latest webinar trend. If you have good material that you've already put together and want to distribute and spread through a webinar. Also quite a soft one, which is super value driven and not that salesy. Then you have the upcoming event. This is great for having a webinar series, for example, where you want to drive next steps, but you want to have signups for your next webinar or next physical event maybe even as well. Then you can have, let's say, get free access to our next breakfast seminar, sign up for the next webinar now to save your seat, or something along those lines. Also, the sign me up webinar call to action. This is a bit more salesy, so better for bottom of the funnel type of webinars, or getting closer to that bottom, where it could be to sign up for a certain newsletter. It could be getting early bird access to an event, or get started on a trial for your product. Maybe book a 15-minute demo, for example, or take the first action in the product. So good for more bottom of the funnel type of webinars. And it's also good if you have a pretty low barrier to test the product, for example. It might not feel like that big of a deal if you have shown a great use case of how you can leverage, let's say, an AI tool. You can just give access to that tool and try it out afterwards, and a lot of people will feel that's a good value still, even though it might be asking for a pretty direct conversion. And also the final one is the sense of urgency call to action. And this is great for driving direct conversion. It might be perceived as a bit salesy if you don't do it right, but it can also be super effective adding that kind of exclusive feeling or time-bound part of a specific deal or a conversion. So it could be sign up now to get access to our free bonus material, get 20% off by signing up to our product today, register in the next 2 hours to get this exclusive free trial, or something like that. I think that's a great one if you know how to do it and if you have the right offer that really feels like a lot of value for the attendees, and you've shown that throughout your webinar as well. But how do you craft a converting call to action? These have been some straight up examples of what converting call to actions could look like, and what they have in common is they are pretty specific. So instead of just being broad and say book a demo, you should say book a 15-minute demo on Thursday, or be super specific in your call to action, and it will be much clearer what the attendee will actually sign up for when they press this button and where they will end up, and also what value they will get out of it. And if it's too broad, it will not be perceived as a very interesting one to press. Also, you should describe the benefit for this target group. It should feel like I get something out of this, and I know why, and I know the clear benefit I get from taking this next step. You should also introduce urgency or make it feel exclusive. This is the sense of urgency type of call to action, and which can be super powerful if you do it right. And don't be afraid to write pretty long call to actions. Having short call to actions, well, you can lose a lot of the power in this specific call to actions, and the power of explaining benefits and being very specific and concrete. For example, these up here, they can actually be rewritten in a more specific way. Book a meeting in Jonathan's calendar for him to take you through HubSpot. See all of our tips along how you create engaging webinars. Find summer jobs now. Increase your chance by 15% by signing up today. Well, you get the point. Be specific and don't be afraid to write long call to actions. And finally, how to use call to actions in different platforms. It of course varies on the type of abilities you have in terms of the platform. Well, to your right can be, for example, in a meeting tool like Google Meet or Teams. You could essentially just drop a link and a small text snippet before it in the chat. So it could be book a demo here and then just drop the link. It might be a bit hard with tracking and it might get lost a bit in the chat. So it might be nice to have a dedicated webinar tool, such as to your left, Univid, where we have built actually this tool to really be super converting. So you have engagement tools like reactions and so on that gets people clicking, and then they are much more likely, up to 50% more likely actually, to take this next step that you present with a call to action button. And this is also trackable, and you get all of the insights on who clicked and when, and also aggregated. So it's pretty powerful to have as a button, but you can do it in your meeting tools as well and apply all of these tips and tricks I've just gone through. So feel free to apply these call to actions in your next webinar. It should be pretty hands-on, and you should hopefully have some insights now on what you could do for your business to really drive more conversions through webinars. Also feel free to try out Univid, of course, if you really want to work with conversions for real. Try it out for free in less than 60 seconds to be very specific in my call to action there. But I wish you a great next webinar and see you in the next one. Bye!